Hi, volunteers. I'm Kelly Settlemeyer from Spencer Baptist Church, and I'm the person that has been emailing you and trying to get everything lined up for you for Night to Shine. I'm so glad that you have decided to help us this year with Night to Shine, and this short video should show you a few things to remember. If you attended one of our training sessions, this is just kind of a recap. But if you were not able to attend, then this is the only training really that you're going to get. I'm using some strange video recording this morning. So if my screen gets blurry or my eyes are pointing in three different directions, I apologize. I think we can still communicate together using this method. We are 2 days away from Night to Shine, 3 if you count today, but Friday, February 9th, this Friday night is our main event. I would like to share with you the purpose of Night to Shine. And Night to Shine is celebrating its 10th year with the Tim Tebow Foundation. And the purpose for Night to Shine is that Tim Tebow Foundation wanted to begin this experience to work with churches worldwide to provide an incredible prom night experience centered on God's love and ultimate acceptance, specifically for people with special needs. So we have been partnering with the Tim Tebow Foundation for 4 years. I'd like for you to know right off that your job is very, very important. All volunteers need to be at Spencer Baptist Church on Friday night before 5:55. I think a better way to say it is be here by 5:45 because you never know if you're going to have trouble parking, but I need you in the building at 5:55. There are going to be some tables set up for you to check in inside the building. If you're familiar with our building, we are going to be in the back hallway near where we had our sensory space last year. That is our chapel. And at 6 o'clock, everyone that is not pre-assigned to working traffic and food will gather for a time of prayer before we disperse to our different spots in the building according to our assignments. So please plan to arrive, giving yourself time to be early. This is important so that I can tell which volunteers haven't shown up yet, if I have enough buddies, if I need to pull somebody into a different responsibility. There's a lot that has to happen, even if it means that you get here and have to just sit and wait on me. At least I know that when I come in, you're ready. So please help us with that. People say, what do I wear for Night to Shine? Well, that's a good question. I want everyone to look their best. If you're willing to wear prom gowns and formal wear, then that's amazing. I really hope that a lot of you will do that. However, if that's not comfortable for you, then I'm going to ask you just to dress your very, very, very best. I do not want hooded sweatshirts and ripped clothing and that kind of stuff because we want this to be a prom experience for our guests. And you can imagine that you wouldn't wear that to a prom that you were attending. So do your best to look very snazzy and just do it upright. The more bling, the better. For those of you who don't have anything and still want to look for something, you are welcome to contact me. We still have our female ball gowns and things out and available for you to look through. The choices are varied depending on what you like and what size you wear, but we have from 0 to size 32. So if you want to do that, you only have about 48 hours to do that. You can contact me. My information will be at the end of the video. Throughout our event, we want to be careful to use people first language. People first language means that we refer to everyone as a person before we refer to their disability or even to their ability. So we don't have a person who is going to be referred to as a deaf person. It's going to be a person who is deaf, a person with a disability, a person in a wheelchair. We always lead our conversations with the fact that we are all people first. Please try to remember that as we interact with our guests on Friday night. At registration, all volunteers will be given a name tag that must be worn the entire evening. Your name tag is on a lanyard, and the tag itself will be printed in yellow. All yellow tags refer to volunteers. Our guests will have the same lanyards, but their name tags will be printed in white. This is an easy way for you to glance around the room and see who is a guest and who is a volunteer. Last year we used different color lanyards, but this year we're using different color tags themselves. There is a lot of information on the name tags, and I will explain that further at our 6 o'clock meeting Friday night. But please be aware that those of you who are buddies for the evening, you are going to have your name tag, and then slipped in underneath your name tag on the back side, you're going to put a copy of your buddy's name tag. That way you'll have that on you at all times. Volunteers name tags are simple, but our guest name tags have emergency contact information, so that if someone were to fall or to get hurt and we needed a phone number quickly, it's right there on the name tag. Also on name tags, all of our guests have a guest number, and the number doesn't have anything to do with the guest other than I tried to number our guests somewhat of age order. So numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are our high school guests, and numbers 74 to 79 are our older adult guests, might be in their 60s or 70s. So generally speaking, guests numbered 1 through 79, 1 being younger, 79 being older. We will use those numbers. If our guest wants to leave a coat with us, we'll put their guest number on it. If they pick out jewelry during the evening that they don't want to put on, but they want to take home, we'll number the bag with their guest number. All of that will take place, and we will be able to keep kind of control of everybody's belongings. We have moved our sensory space into a little bit bigger area. It is right in the middle of the square that we will operate in. It'll be labeled and obvious when you check in on Friday night. If you hadn't been in our building yet, you will go right past it. If you're familiar with Spencer Baptist Church, this is our adult choir room that we're using for sensory areas. And the sensory areas are important because our guests may get a little overstimulated and need kind of a quiet, soft space to just relax for a moment. So encourage them if you feel like they're getting a little bit sensory overload. That might appear in many different ways. Encourage them. Hey, do you want to go check out our quiet space, our sensory space for a little bit? We will have volunteers kind of roaming around the building that are trained to observe those types of behaviors, and they may ask you, hey, if you're a buddy, they may say, why don't you encourage your buddy to go to the sensory room for a few minutes? So don't be offended if one of our people ask you to do that. Our leadership and our people that kind of know what's going on are going to be wearing lanyards that have lights on them. So you will be able to easily spot someone who can help you if you need something during the evening. A couple of things. I want you to be positive throughout the night. I want you to be friendly. I want you to be flexible. I want you to interact with our guests. If you're a buddy, you don't have to just talk to the person you're assigned to. We're all going to be in this big room together. You never leave your buddy that you're assigned to, but the more we can encourage them to socialize and interact, the better. So please be willing to just jump in there, get on that dance floor and dance, encourage other people to dance. We'll have a great time together. We will have fire and police roaming throughout the facility during our event. In uniform, and that is to kind of build community connections, but they're also there in case of emergencies. We have EMS and medics on site for our event. They're going to be housed in the chapel, which is where we had our sensory space last year, and it's where we're going to meet when you check in this year. But they're going to be there if there's any kind of injury, big, small, anything that is medical, they're going to be there to take care of that. We do have our limo ride system again this year. If you remember last year, it was a little bit hectic, but this year whenever a guest checks in, there's going to be a sticker that is put on the name tag that tells you, the buddy, what time to report to the limousine area. Now, um, this is going to be our best guess. It's going to be a window of time, say a 15-minute window. And you need to notice when that time is and get your guests to go to the limo line at that time. We're not going to be so strict about that we tell people they cannot ride, but at the same time, hopefully by spreading everybody out, we're going to be able to not have long lines to ride the limousine. A buddy does not necessarily have to get in the limo with their guest, but we have to make sure we have at least two buddies in the limo at all times. So if it's getting full and you think I'm not going to get in with my person, then it is your job, if you're a buddy, to look at another buddy that is in the limo and say, I'm going to leave my guest with you for the limo ride. And then you do not leave the limo area. If you're not in the limo and your buddy is in the limo, then you need to stay outside where that limo is going to unload. So the minute they come back, you are reconnected. That is the only time that you would ever leave your buddy. And I have volunteers that will be out there working that line to help navigate that. But if you're willing to ride with your buddy, that's even better because we can enjoy the experience together. Attached to this video email is a list of responsibilities. So if you don't know what you've been assigned to do, I hope that you will look at the chart. It's alphabetized by last name and see what your assignment is. If you have a problem or an issue that you cannot handle the assignment that I've put down for you, then you need to be in touch with me immediately. I need to make sure that everyone is assigned to an appropriate area, and that if you need special instructions for your area, that I'm able to give those to you. The contact information for me is on the screen now. You can see my phone number, the church phone number, my email address. I would ask that you contact me if you need me, but on Friday, I might not be able to get back to you immediately because of all the things that have to be happening on Friday. So be sure that if it's a last minute need, try to find somebody in person in a lighted lanyard. But if it's just a simple question, then just text me or email me. Call me if it's something that I need to take care of immediately, though, and I will answer. The other thing that I want to make sure that we understand is that our guests enter on a red carpet. It is royal treatment. Every one of us, with the exception of our parking team and our registration team and our food team, everyone else is going to be out on the red carpet celebrating with each guest as their name is called and as they enter the church. If you're a buddy, then as you are put into service with your guest, you will walk the red carpet with them and bring them in the building while the rest of us clap and cheer. We have signs to hold up that says you are beautiful. Welcome kings and queens, all kinds of wonderful signs. So be ready to just provide the excitement for that moment. Then at the end of the night, we have our crowning ceremony where all of our guests are crowned kings and queens. Buddies will help their guest come up to where I'm announcing names. Then the buddy will place the crown or the tiara on their buddy's head. Then come down the other side where you will be given, your guest will be given a string bag that says Night to Shine. And in that string bag are their kind of party favors and things. That way no one gets missed. I know in years past it's been a little bit chaotic trying to get those bags and those gifts to people. So this way they get it right when they get their crown. At the end of the night, if you're a buddy, do not abandon your guest. We hand the guests over to their caregivers directly. If you have to leave for some reason, then you need to find someone with a lighted lanyard and hand your guest to that person. Do not ever, ever leave your buddy because they will not know where to go or how to get reunited with their caregivers. I know this is a lot of information, and I know that you might have questions, and I hope that you will email those questions to me. But the most important things I want you to know is what time to come. Okay. You need to be here seated in the chapel by 5:55. You need to dress nice. Formal wear is great, but if not, you need to at least dress nice. Our event is over at 9. If anybody wants to stay longer and help us clean up, that's a lot of stuff we've got to clean. So we would love to have you. And finally, check this email that had this video in it to make sure you understand your assignment. Thank you so much for giving your time to work with our Night to Shine, and we can't wait to see everyone Friday night.